I'm joined now by Chris Ashley, who's the Head of Environment Policy with the Road Haulage Association, which has its northern office in Bradford. Morning, Chris.
Good morning.
Now, these restrictions, they're aimed at commercial vehicles, that has to be said. Privately owned cars are exempt. What do your members think about this?
Well, it's causing us great concern, to be frank, Rima. I mean, I think there's 3 points, we'd want to make here. I mean, first and foremost, everybody wants clean air, and the report that you've just highlighted there, I think, sort of clearly demonstrates that need. But our point is that there is, I think, alternative ways of achieving it. And what concerns us is that hauliers have actually invested very heavily in clean vehicles already, which has led to sort of pollution levels falling by about 60% since 2013. And what concerns us is that the way the Clean Air Zone has been designed doesn't take into account the good work that hauliers have already been making.
So, Chris, if the Clean Air Zone isn't the way to do it, what is the right way to go about achieving clean air in the city?
Well, from a transport perspective, it would be about investing in vehicles standards and improved engine standards. This is where we get a bit technical, but over the last 20 years, there has been a consistent improvement in engine standards. We're on what's known as Euro 6 at the moment, and your car and your lorry, your new car and your new lorry will conform to the Euro 6 standard. And as I say, over the last 20 years, there has been this consistent improvement in vehicle standards, which has seen the fall in pollution levels that we want. And that's what we want to see going forwards. There is talk, for example, of investing in a Euro 7 to improve the pollution falls even further. That's kind of what we want to see. And one of the problems with the Clean Air Zone, as I say, there's no dispute about the need to clean up the air. We all want that. But there are, I'm afraid, sort of business factors to take into account. Things like, is there the availability of the vehicles that we want? And that's been a problem because whilst we all want clean air, there hasn't necessarily been the available vehicles then to replace the ones that we don't want.
Yeah, and speaking of that, the council appears to have identified diesel lorries as one of the main polluters. Are you saying that alternatives to diesel lorries are what you're finding it hard to source? Is that an issue?
Well, that's another set of issues actually, and just to dwell on that. Yes, absolutely. Our industry is looking ahead very much at alternatives to diesel, and very much there's a big debate in the industry about electric vehicles and also hydrogen vehicles. And we're engaged with the government ultimately looking at how we can trial this so that we can get it out onto our roads as soon as we can. But I have to say, that development is still some way off. We still have a need, obviously, to supply Bradford with, the food and goods that it needs.
Of course, yeah.
And diesel at the moment is the only option available. However, there is a solution available, which is we continue investing in improved diesel engines, as I say, potentially Euro 7. And that will continue the falls in pollution that we all want to see.
So the plan is recommended for approval right now. You've mapped out the reasons why you don't think that the Clean Air Zone is the right way to do it for hauliers. Basically, you're head of environment policy with the Road Haulage Association. What are you telling your members to do now then?
Well, we're in mitigation basically. And essentially, there's a couple of points of advice that we make to our members. Firstly, where they can, we would obviously encourage them to upgrade to the Euro 6 lorry that has been specified. As I say, there is a problem in that there are not enough Euro 6 lorries at the moment to go around. As an alternative to that, it would have to be to pay the charge. But ultimately, I think, we do have to recognise that charge may get passed on to consumers. The other alternative is just not to serve Bradford. And, we would say that potentially then puts Bradford at a commercial disadvantage relative to, say, the likes of Leeds. I'm sure you're familiar, that Leeds has also gone through this process and has decided not to go ahead with the Clean Air Zone. So whether that puts Bradford at a commercial disadvantage, I think we would flag as an issue.
Is that not hauliers sort of in a way holding the city hostage a little bit there, though, saying actually if we don't want to pay and we can't upgrade, then we're just not going to do the job and deliver this stuff?
Well, at the end of the day, our needs are the customers in Bradford, and we will ensure as much as we can that the goods that they want get there. I do have to say to you, though, Rima, that if the lorries can't get in, but the goods still have to go in, then you're looking potentially at an increase in vans. And then vans would increase congestion within Bradford. So, these are tricky issues. These are very tricky issues that we want to solve, and we want to obviously get to that goal of clean air. But it's not as straightforward as
absolutely.
Might.
There's lots of Chris. You've brought up lots of knock-on effects. Thank you so much for joining us this morning and talking us through the issues. Chris Ashley, there, who's the head of environment policy with the Road Haulage Association.